Hi, everyone. Um, Welcome. Thanks for joining. Still got some people trickling in, so they may come and go, but we'll be letting them in. But we're going to go ahead and get started. Again, thank you for joining. This is our session for the teacher preparation programs that we have at LMU, which includes our credential and master's programs. Before we begin, I'm just going to let everyone who's presenting and with us from LMU today just introduce themselves real quick. So I'll start. My name is Erin. I am the graduate admissions counselor for our teacher preparation program. So all the programs, you'll be hearing about today. I'm basically kind of there for you as you're going through the admissions process to help you figure out the right pathway, whether that's, credential, master's, both, and kind of helping where you should go based on your current situation, all of that. So all of those questions as you're going through the process, I'll be the one to kind of assist with that and review your initial application. Let's see, next on my screen is Mary Fraser.
Hi, everyone. Mary Fraser, Director of Admissions for the School of Ed. Happy to see you all here today. And we will have time at the end for questions and answers as well. So welcome. And I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Lauren Casella.
Welcome, everybody. My name is Lauren Casella. I serve this semester as the interim director for our Master of Arts in Transformative Education. And my regular role is director of our Catholic School Leadership Academy. Welcome in, everybody. And to my colleague, Dr. Lavadens.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. I'm Magali Lavadens, and I'm serving as the program director for our Mandarin, Spanish, and Korean bilingual authorization programs. Happy to meet you all and to invite you to an event, which you're going to have to wait for that. Okay, you're going to be invited to a party already. And then I'll turn it back. Who am I turning it to now? Back to Erin.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry, I'm gonna share my screen real quick so that since the introductions are done, and let's see. Can you see that? No. Yes? No.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, great. So we already taken that. Back over to Erin.
All right. So just to know a little bit about you all, if you in the chat want to just kind of tell us where you're joining us from, where you're at, what grade level you're interested in teaching or what subject matter. And then also if you happen to be applying to us through one of our many partnerships, feel free to let us know as well, just so that we can add in some of that information. So feel free to just get all of that going in the chat.
Don't be shy. You're all going to be teachers. So this is your opportunity to put forth. It helps us kind of design the presentation. So if you're elementary, secondary, special ed, if you're with a partnership such as KIP or PUC or TFA or Orange County, just put that in the chat.
Awesome.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
What time is it there?
It's LA Bay Area, special ed, elementary, secondary, it's kind of all over. Well, that's great. We love a well-rounded group.
Great. So this helps us too. We'll take notes from this as we gather our notes after post presentation. So thank you. I'll start, and we're going to start with just talking a little bit about the credentials we offer and the MAs, and then all of us are going to take turns in this presentation. So I'm going to start with this. We have the multiple subject teaching credential, which is basically your elementary school teacher. All of our credentials are available to have an add-on MA so that the units you spend in getting your credential apply towards an MA. So it's not many more units beyond. You'll see there for elementary, the credential is 23 units. If you add 16, you also get the MA. So that's going to be the same with single subject. That's for our secondary candidates. Usual, and most of the subjects are English, social science, math, regular sciences, biology, physics, those types of things. We also have art, music, theater. So that is your single subject. That's generally single. You're only teaching one subject in a class in a school site. Usually that's going to be at the high school, but sometimes at the middle school as well. And then in special ed, we have two options. Both are the education specialist credential for individuals with mild to moderate support needs. But those that want to do some field work in the elementary school setting and also have the subject matter, which we'll talk about later, for elementary, actually come out of the program with two credentials. No additional coursework, no additional units or costs, but it's a two for one basic program. And then these are the MAs. The MA in Transformative Education, those last 16 units, you can concentrate in one of these areas: digital learning, disability studies and inclusive education, ed policy and leadership and administration, language and culture, and we're going to get to the bilingual authorization in a second. If you are doing that, that coursework is included in this concentration. So in that case, it's a three-fer. You get a credential, an MA, and an authorization. Social, emotional, cultural learning and well-being, and TESOL. We also have the MA in special ed, which hooks up with the ed specialist credential. And then I'm going to switch it over to Dr. Lavedens to speak a little bit about the bilingual authorization programs we have.
Yes, bienvenidas. So I'm here to share with you a little bit about the concentration, language and culture, that if you are bilingual in another language, it is an opportunity to do that 3+1, the bilingual authorization, which is in addition to your main credential, whether it's in elementary, multiple subjects, or in single subjects. We offer the languages that you see here on the screen. You must have an initial language proficiency in one of those languages that you'll get a chance, an opportunity to talk to me about, but it also requires you to pass an additional assessment by the Commission on Teacher Credentialing, which is called the CSET Test 3, the Language Proficiency Assessment, at the end of the bilingual authorization program. The courses that are part of the bilingual authorization are in particular 3 courses, which 2 of which are taught in the target language, whether it's Spanish, Mandarin, or Cantonese. And Korean is our, I don't think anybody said Korean in the chat, but Korean is our newest bilingual authorization program. The program is not new. I started at LMU 31 years ago and stepping back into the directorship of the program. So it's an exciting opportunity to respond to the field's need of bilingual dual language programs. And you'll have an opportunity to speak to some of our alumni. If I could share my screen for a second. On November 9th, you'll have an opportunity, sorry for the screenshot there, to join us for the bilingual teacher education tea and tardeada. So what does that mean? It's just a gathering, a conversation with some of our most esteemed bilingual teacher alumni in Mandarin and in Spanish. These are practicing teachers who, if you haven't visited or been in a bilingual or dual language classroom setting, they're going to tell you what it's really like. They're going to tell you how wonderful our program is, how we stay connected over the years, and how they want you to come into that field and that profession and to join them in this field. So if you want to take a photo, I'm not sure if I can add that to the screen. You can take a photo of that QR code and that will lead you to an RSVP so that I can have an accurate count. And then even though our programs are online, we'll have that opportunity to meet us, especially if you're in the Southern California area. This is for the Southern California folks. I'm hoping to have one in the spring for our Northern California colleagues and esteemed bilingual teacher alumni. Okay, back to you, Mary.
All right, sounds good. So within teacher preparation, there's the coursework, which is all online. That's incredible. We all know what commutes are like. Our programs are both in the Northern California area and the greater Los Angeles area. So we know what commutes are like. The coursework is online Monday through Thursday. The part that's not online, of course, is your field work. There are several options for your field work. One is student teaching. That is what you would consider the traditional way. That's the way I got my teaching credential, the way most of us did. And that is you're in a classroom with a mentor teacher. It is her or his classroom or their classroom. And then you are learning to be a teacher under their mentorship. In the first semester, it's 2 days a week. In the second semester of student teaching, it is 5 days a week for elementary and secondary. For special ed in the second semester, it's 3 days for the first part a week for the first part of the semester, and then 5 days a week towards the end of the semester. So that's student teaching. There's also an intern credential option. The intern pathway means that you already have a job as a teacher. You've either gotten it through, you've applied on your own, or you came through one of our partnerships. They hired you to be a teacher at a specific school site or through a specific organization, such as Teach for America, Orange County Department of Education, one of those. And they have hired you. It is your classroom. There's no mentor in there. It is you. We do not get the job for you. You get the job. And then that pathway, you have fieldwork supervision and support to help you be successful as an intern teacher in your first year of teaching. Actually, I should say we also have this pathway for Catholic school teachers or private school teachers, so you don't have to be in a public school. And then the third way, I don't have it up here. It's very similar to student teaching and interns. It's it's a hybrid, and that's called a resident teacher. So resident teachers are similar to a student teacher in that there is a mentor teacher, but they're also similar to an intern teacher in that they're in that classroom full time. The only caveat to residencies is it has to be through a partnership. There's KIP, PUC, Green Dot, all of these charter school organizations have residency programs for the most part, and they hire you and they assign you as a resident teacher. So we have those partnerships as well. And then I am going to turn it back over to Erin for the parts about the commission and applications.
So yeah, so this, as we'll go through, these are some of our Commission on Teacher credentialing requirements, which they're basically state requirements for California. These are things that you need to have met, depending on your program, either by the time that you start at LMU or that you'll complete up until you're getting your credential. So some of these basic things that we need, obviously a bachelor's degree from an accredited university, usually just your official degree conferred transcript. You submit that with us. That's all we kind of need to check that off. Basic skills. So now you can meet this through a BA degree. Some of you might have known that I believe up until this past summer, there were either coursework or exams you had to take. But now, again, as long as we get that degree conferred transcript, it'll also count for basic skills. If you have taken the CBEST, though, you are welcome to submit those test scores as well. Then we have certificate of clearance. So this requires getting a live scan fingerprinting done and submitting that to the CTC to get your certificate of clearance. So this is something we recommend going ahead and doing if you know that you're wanting to work in a classroom, just because this is required for anyone who's working in a public or a charter school. So recommend going that done. You can look up online locations to go to. It just takes a little while, so that's why I'm throwing out there that something to go ahead and look into. U.S. Constitution. This can either be met if you graduated from a CSU school, if you took like a U.S. history or government political science course that covered, the principles of the Constitution. And then if you don't have either of those, we also have a quick online exam that you can take. It's very easy. You can take it on your own time, so there's no no specific time or date you have to log on. And we can provide that link for you if you'd like to check that exam out. And then for anyone who is interested or plans to pursue the bilingual authorization, there is a CSET, a language exam required for that language that you are pursuing the bilingual authorization in. So subject matter, so it's part of those CTC requirements that I was just going over, but this is kind of the big one, so it gets its own slide. So there are a few different ways that you can meet this, but basically the subject matter is referring to the subject that you're wanting to teach. So for example, if you want to teach English, you would want to get your subject matter in English, or at least past subject matter in English. Same for art. Elementary school would be like multiple subjects if you're wanting to go into that. So here's a few ways that we can kind of go over these. So direct or approved exact major. So whatever your major was on your degree. So for example, a biology major will meet single subject. Liberal studies or elementary education can meet multiple subject. Any of those can also meet, or any approved major for subject matter can also be applied to the special education program and Credential. So any major that is qualified can work for that as well. And then we review this on our end. So when we get your transcript and we get your application and we see your major, then we'll let you know if that works or not. If your major was close, then we can also go into an alternative coursework review. Or if you think you have enough coursework to meet a certain subject matter, then we can look at your transcript and see if you have enough coursework that you took in undergrad to meet basically the domain requirements that are in the CSET exam. Then third, if we're not able to, approve your major, if you don't have enough coursework to waive those or to meet those exams, then we can also take the CSET exams. And this is something that even if you're wanting to pursue one of these other two, I recommend going ahead and looking at your testing dates just because they do fill up and you do have to kind of plan them in advance. So this is the, kind of way that if you're not able to meet those other two, you can register and take these exams. And then when you pass them, we'll be able to take your test scores to help meet subject matter.
Great. And we're going to turn it over to Dr. Casella.
Wonderful. Well, what is special about LMU and our mission? You may already know this, that our university is a Catholic institution. We are combined three heritages here at LMU: the Jesuits, the Religious of the Sacred Heart of Mary, and the Sisters of St. Joseph of Orange. And what we like to say is that these three religious identities help inform our threefold mission. So first, LMU is committed to the encouragement of learning. You will hear that quite a bit. And what that means in our teacher prep programs is that there is an emphasis on putting theory and practice together, and that will always be a part of each one of your courses. You have faculty who are deeply committed to engaging with you to help you learn and grow. And as a faculty member, I deeply care about your school. So oftentimes your projects will relate to what is happening on your campus. And this is done both in synchronous and asynchronous ways. And lastly, the encouragement of learning is really done in a collaborative cohort model. So that's what makes LMU experience a little different. The second is this: there's the education of the whole person. You will hear this a lot at LMU. The Jesuit charism of cura personalis comes through in many different ways. So for you as a graduate student at LMU, please know that we have career and professional supports for you. We have engagement in our campus ministry services and experiences. You will find wellness supports through our robust community of care offerings. And just know that your faculty members, your staff support, your fieldwork supervisors, we all care about each of you as persons first. And the last thing, and something else to mention about that as the whole person, is just know that your advisors, your academic advisor that you will have, will individually meet with you to ensure that your course sequence is tailored to your needs and to your degree and credential that you are seeking. And last and importantly, the third pillar of our LMU mission is the service of faith and the promotion of justice. So just know, coming to LMU, especially to our School of Ed, we encourage you to bring your faith experiences to your classroom, what inspires you, what calls you to serve as an educator in our schools. This is absolutely a calling that you are answering. And many of your projects in your courses will focus on equity, diversity, change on your campus. And through all of your courses, candidates are prepared to work with all learners. So just know that there's going to be a thread of students with special needs in general ed classrooms. That is a part of our coursework. And lastly, in addition to our 3 pillars, just know that our LMU School of Ed is committed to the practice of continuous improvement through accreditation. So just know that we are accredited university. And what this means is that we're committed to listening for student feedback. And just know that our faculty and staff overall, we love to learn with you and from you throughout the semester. And this means that oftentimes you're helping us understand what classrooms look like when we see you, hopefully in spring of 2025. Thanks, Mary.
In addition to that, we're also very top rated because of who we are and what we do and our accreditation and our reputation. We are ranked the #2, LMU is ranked the #2 Jesuit School of Education in the country, the #2 private school of education in the state of California, the #8 school of education in the state, sorry. When we're competing with UC Berkeley, then we got dropped down to like #8, but we're the #2 private school of education. Number 71 in the country, in the top 5% of more than 1,200 schools nationwide. Back to Erin.
Thanks, Mary. So, as you begin the application process and begin this journey of applying to grad school, like I said, I'll be here to help answer any questions you have via email, or you decide to set up a meeting with me. All of this can be reiterated to you, but just to go over it for here, our application is online. Feel free to go ahead and scan that QR code. I believe it will take you directly to the website where you can register and start your application. Some of the things that then the application will require from you, and some stuff that, as I was saying previously, so your bachelor's degree from a regionally accredited institution. On the application, you can just upload a unofficial copy of your transcript while we wait for the official degree one to come in. We need a personal statement of intent. Our minimum requirement for this is 2 full pages, double spaced, with a maximum of 4 pages. In your application, as you're putting in your specific graduate program information, the questions for the personal statement will kind of auto-generate based on your specific pathway. So make sure you pay attention to those. Not all questions are going to be the same for every program. We need 1 set of official transcripts. So like I was saying, we need your degree conferred transcript with your graduation date on it. And then that can be either sent electronically or it can be sent via mail. Usually we recommend looking on your university undergrad registrar's office for an electronic copy, just because those can usually arrive within 24 to 48 hours. So a lot quicker than a mail copy, which can take, potentially up to 2 weeks to arrive. And then we also have a request for exception to our GPA requirement. So our minimum GPA is a 3.0. We'll check your transcripts to verify that if you're not sure, don't remember what your undergraduate GPA was. But if it does fall below a 3.0, nobody should be too stressed about that, because as Lauren was saying previously, like, we really value you as a person, and especially in admissions, we are also evaluating you kind of in a holistic way. So it's not the end of the road if you don't have that 3.0. I'll help get that request statement to you, and you can answer those questions. It's also a 2-page minimum, and then you'll just submit that back with your application. And then also, again, any CTC requirements that you have met up into submitting your application, you can go ahead and upload for us. Otherwise, as you're getting ready to start our program and we're onboarding you, we'll be working and helping you complete the rest of those requirements. And then I was just gonna do the
I'll go back, sorry.
contact info. No, you're good.
Sorry.
So yeah, or I was going to show, I think we have it at the end too, our email address that you can reach out via email for me at. So then when it comes to the tuition and financial aid, we know this is where most people generally have their questions. So here's a few things just to kind of get you started on thinking what could help you when applying to this program, especially for anyone who might not be doing this through, let's say, like a partnership or some other program. So first, we definitely recommend applying for the Golden State Teacher Grant. This can award you up to $10,000 or more for high need fields or schools to be for you to work as a teacher in. Specifically elementary math science. After you complete our program and you get your credential, that you would work for 2 to 4 years in a high need field or school. And basically that money would be given to you to put towards our program like a scholarship. Similar with the federal teacher forgiveness program, you're also agreeing that you'll work 5 years in a designated high needs school in exchange for receiving basically a grant or scholarship from them. It's kind of like a loan, but it gets forgiven when you complete the 5-year requirement. Again, if you're with a partnership or a specialized program, we do also have scholarships that can be applied or can be used for anyone applying through those partnerships. Anyone who is an alum of City Year, we do also offer a 30% scholarship for you as well. In the application, there will be a place for you to be able to tell us exactly which partnership you're applying through. So for this current academic year, the current tuition sits at $1,632 per unit before scholarships. So that's kind of back to our previous, where it kind of mentioned, or previous slide where we showed you the total units. You would just apply or multiply that number by this per unit. And just know that that would be the total max that you could pay. Obviously, we want you to look at scholarships and check out these other opportunities as well. If you do have more information or questions, or you want more information, I do highly recommend reaching out to the financial aid office. A FAFSA or a California Dream app is required. So if you have any questions about that or deadlines, they have advisors there who can help you. We also recommend checking out this link right here, soe.lmu.edu/admission/aid. That has a list again of other scholarships we offer, or that we recommend that you look into, and you'll find more information for that Golden State Teacher Grant and the Teach Forgiveness Program too.
Great. And here is who we are. Just kind of a summary of who we are.